What's going on with everybody, yo? I pray that all of y'all is doing well, man, in life, man. I pray that y'all are healing from any kind of issues that you have within yourself, man, any trauma, man. And continue living in peace and happiness, dog. Um, I was talking with, a good brother of mine that cuts my hair at the barber shop. And we spoke about a few things, man. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that, I mentioned to him that was that for the most part, a lot of parents are passing trauma along to their kids. You know what I'm saying? And so, I told him, thank you. He just gave me an idea, an idea. But it is true. You know what I'm saying? And one of the ways how you can tell when parents have passed down trauma onto their child or children is, look at the relationships that their children have constantly been in. You know what I'm saying? Well, a lot of people say that, some people may say, that's not necessarily true. I'm like, okay, fair enough. What if I told you that your child, let's say for instance, is, a man. He's a man now, and he's failed and, constantly, having a connection in a relationship with a woman because he doesn't show too much emotion like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, but this is where parents pass it along to, that man, is that since he was a boy, let's say if the child cries, yeah, and they tell him, you're a boy, you shouldn't cry. You should, what what do you think that's gonna happen? Listen to me when I say this shit, yo. Just because you're a man and you show and you're vulnerable to someone that you trust, you're not weak. So whoever tells y'all that shit, and it's society that tells y'all, fuck them. I'm dead serious. Because what people don't understand is that you are internalizing that shit. And whenever you internalize something, it's gonna come out even worse. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be careful who you choose to be vulnerable to. You know what I'm saying? You can't, as brothers, I'll tell you, man, you can't be vulnerable to women. But you have to make sure that woman has invested her entire being into you. Once that woman has invested her entire being, onto you, you're that side of you that's being vulnerable with her is safe. You know what I'm saying? I would think that as a man and woman, we have to provide a safe space for both of us to be authentically ourselves and to confide in one another, because that's one of the biggest problems that I see in relationships all the time. I'll tell you right now, man, every week, and it could be anywhere I go, I may have a complete and total stranger come up to me, yo, and it could be, hello, how you doing? And it literally turns into them telling me the whole life story about everything, their relationships, their marriage, their parents, how they didn't have a connection with their parents, failed marriage, whatever it is, because I provided that safe space within myself, because I'm always going to be authentically myself, and I acknowledge my emotions and my feelings. And if you don't do that within yourself, you're going to have problems, down the road. I was one of those people that used to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't good. Internalizing your emotions and feelings, could possibly turn to violence. So with parents, they more than likely pass that, that kind of thinking of, you know, you shouldn't show emotion, you know, because as children themselves, their parents probably told them the things, the same thing. And it could be a little boy or a little girl. We are emotional beings. I don't know who the fuck came up with this bullshit saying that we're not emotional beings. I'll tell you where that shit came from. Many, many fucking years ago, before men would go to wars, they were told, not to show emotion because it could cloud their judgment. You know what I'm saying? But, as a parent, if your children or child is going in multiple failed relationships, you would have to think that that's, you're part of that, because your children are a reflection of you, whether you believe it or not, whether you know it or not. You know what I'm saying? That's the God honest truth. And I don't want, anybody to think that I'm taking shots at, parents and everything, because at the end of the day, when I explain this, you will see that I am defending you. And how I'm defending you is this. I made the computer analogy. Let's say in my previous videos. So let's say that you just bought a computer, and now brain is brand new. Now you got a virus. Well, you just bought this damn computer. How the hell do you have a virus in your goddamn computer? You gotta get rid of this fucking virus. And what happens if that virus stays longer and longer in that computer untreated? It's going to affect all your programs. It's going to affect the entire fucking computer. You're the fucking computer. You're the fucking computer. And the virus is a negative energy. In other words, it came from an outside source. So with that being said, you may have did something or said something you had no business saying, but it's not really you. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? There's a negative energy surrounding what's inside of you, and it's trying to take control over you. You know? And you have to get rid of it. And when you get rid of it, you'll feel how liberating it is. That's what happened to me. And it takes a lot of work. It really truly does. And even if You're not a parent. If you're an adult, I always tell people, question everything, man. Believe me, question everything. Don't fall into what the fuck society tells you and shit, man, because you're gonna get yourself fucked up in the head, just like a lot of people out here. This is one of the reasons why people can't find happiness. This is one of the reasons why people are really independent. And if you know anything about people, we're not independent beings. We're not meant to be on this earth by ourselves. The key is interdependence. We all depend on each other for something. If you have a car, you gotta take that shit to the mechanic, right, to get it seen, to get it fixed, right? So you depend on the mechanic to get the work done. If you need some kind of construction work done on your house, what do you gotta do? You gotta hire somebody, right? So you depend on them to do the job, to get it done. You know what I'm saying? Even a little child, that child is relying on you to cook them food, or whatever it is. They're depending on you. So that whole I'm independent shit is for the fucking birds. It's the most dumbest shit that I ever heard, yo. And it's a good, surefire way to have your ass being single for the rest of your fucking life. Don't believe that shit. Stop believing that Beyonce shit. Leave that shit alone. Society has lied to you in so many fucking ways, man. And like I said, it's important that you have to question everything. You really truly do. I went through that shit, and having, parents passing along that trauma. And then when I started, healing within myself, I realized that even though I did what I did, I know that wasn't really me. And I had to really ask myself, what in the fuck are you doing, homie? What in the absolute fuck are you doing? Because at the end of the day, you may not even know who's watching you. You may still have someone or multiple people that look up to you. They may look up to you as a mother figure or a father figure or uncle figure, brother figure, whatever. But they damn sure look up to you. And you wouldn't even know it. But anyways, man, I like I said, I don't want anybody to think that I'm taking shots at them or anything like that, yo. Because I'm not. That's not my stilo, man. You know what I'm saying? My mission in life is to inform people and get people to understand that they themselves are their greatest healer. Really and truly, it's like you take a test. You got a study group. You have a test that's coming up, and even though y'all are together and y'all help study for a test, who's the one that has to take the test? You. The best help is self-help, yo. But at the same time, you will have to see how other people you know, perform, the self-help. Because I could tell you, to say, hey, you need to love yourself. But if you ask me how, and I can't tell you, what the fuck good is that? So you have to surround yourself with people who authentically themselves and they love themselves. You know what I'm saying? They'll tell you how. They'll show you how. But it's getting dark out here, yo. Peace and love to y'all, man.